The new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
He looked like he's trying to prepare for the next Vikings of Valhalla miniseries on Netflix. That's what he looks like he's trying to do.
He's like, man, I'm ready for the Northman Part 2.
And I think that's part of the Brandon Staley culture that he's created, is that he's created a culture where they don't have that dog in them. They have the talent on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, you got some defensive dogs, but you got a coach who don't inspire them. And it's too laissez-faire, too laid back for it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be, have his inner chi and his vengeance is all good, It'll be like Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2. You remember Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2 when he got drugged up and they went to the chief's house and he's like, yeah, it's feng shui. And he's like, yeah, vengeance.
I think it's great that he does yoga. I wish I could bend over, touch my toes, and I hurt my knee or some shit like that. But
so he can do that because he didn't play real football, Brandon. You did.
That's true.
What are you working on, Jared? Have y'all started the show yet?
No. Me and Darius have been here since basically I got on like 6:07, 6:10. Darius was on at 6 o'clock. So we've been here this whole time, and we've been waiting for Jared to start the damn show.
That's how I know I made the right decision. I was like, man, I got these dishes to wash.
He's slightly hot, I see.
Oh no, he's more than slightly. He already told Darius.
That's why he can't start the show.
Yep, man, I'll be getting off early, Brandon.
I'm just waiting for the storm to pass.
We'll be playing Call of Duty early today.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all ready to start the show?
No, I'm on mushrooms.
All right, let's start the
show. I don't hang out with cokehead ass niggas.
Brandon, did you bring the norepinephrine shot or the Worko?
The Nurcan.
You don't need no goddamn Norcan for no goddamn mushroom.
Jared was Nurcan. Hey man, I ain't an extra edible. I need a Nurcan shot.
If you're not here with Narcan after having mushrooms, you're still gonna be high off mushrooms, Jared.
This thing on the show looking like Uma Thurman.
Come on.
God, man, this is useless.
All right, well, let's get ready to start the show, guys.
The fucking baby of Lori Harvey.
All right, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510 on the Instagram, the YouTube, and on the Twitter at Horcrux Hipster. You can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/High Score 510. And our TikTok, shout out sponsorship. Got a new post out. There's a clip of Aaron describing what he is most looking forward to in 2023.
Funny you saying that, because that's what the fuck I'm listening to right now. And I'm getting more mad listening to this shit. And I'm like, God damn it, man, this goddamn Peloton. And I actually ride the shit, but I'm still mad at it. I'm mad at it when I ride it. I'm mad at the screen. I'm like, dude, can't jailbreak the fucking screen. I had to buy a separate thing to hold my iPad so I could watch what the fuck I want to watch on it. And here's the crazy thing. Every time I'm on the Peloton, I get the strange feeling I'm going to have a heart attack. And that someone gonna catch me on this motherfucker. I ain't got no way. Because here's the thing, it uses different kind of shoes to click in. It's not easy to click in and out the bitch, right? And I'm like, dude, if I had a heart attack or something, I can't even get off this bitch.
Why did y'all need special shoes for a stationary bike?
Exactly.
They sold you on a dream, nigga. They was like, man, you could be like that dude that in that Hennessy commercial that was the first black cyclist.
You know what I noticed? Just all these years of knowing Aaron. Aaron be buying white.
First of all, white man, let me say that I love you, honor you, envy you, enjoy your smell, and I celebrate you in the name of white Jesus.
All right, look, I gotta hear this. Explain this.
You buy everything the commercial tell you to buy.
Air show be like, so what kind of package do you have? They're like, we got the gold, the blue. Where's the white package?
I buy a nigga.
See, Pedro will buy cheaply, is what he's saying. Like, I want to go to the top of the line. Because the one thing I'm going to tell you about the Peloton, and I will tell you this, Other than the fact it costs a lot of fucking money in there, it is the best exercise bike. It's better than the ones in the gym. It is solidly built. It is quiet. The pieces are unbelievable. It's a solid, real piece of metal on there.
It sounds like you've been leaving a white Yelp review.
Look,
no,
we bought an exercise bike in here. It is not a Peloton. It's a Pelican.
Exactly. Pedro would have some shit that's all plastic that still got a big ass rusted ass chain on it when you first buy it. Right, and it will come with a little bit of oil that's in a fucking like plastic package. You got to rip open with your mouth. It's like, oh, just oil up the chain before you.
You got clipper oil for your exercise.
Exactly.
I got better news for you. It ain't even got a chain.
What you got? Nigga, a Huffy on 2 2x4s?
I got a mountain bike. It's got 13 speeds.
So you got your exercise bike for Finger Hut or some shit like that.
Knowing if you bought it, probably Target.
No, it wasn't that Target.
That new bike company called Walmart.
No, I bought it at Walmart, but it's a great bike.
God damn.
Aaron do be researching the full upscale Anglo package though on things.
I do, and I take my time, man. Like my vacuum cleaner, I got an expensive ass vacuum cleaner. Here's the crazy shit: I moved into this apartment, ain't got no fucking carpet.
You can't even hold on to Harlem.
Ain't got no.
Does
fucking
the expensive ass vacuum cleaner got a hose attachment at least?
Man, they got there. It's an expensive ass vacuum cleaner. Only thing I use it for is when I broke the pitcher with glass on it to suck up the glass.
Because in your place, you could just literally go down to like Home Depot and get you a dry vac and be fine.
No, I research, man. I don't like buying cheap shit. That's the thing with me. I don't like buying cheap shit.
Hey, man, I researched too, and I bought that $3,000 TV, and that shit left me in the dust.
I ain't never done no stupid shit like that now.
Well, a $3,000 TV. And
I know you researched for 12 years to get the TV you got now, Aaron.
That's true. Remember, I was looking for a new TV. I research, but I don't like cheap shit. I like the fact I waited for TVs to get less expensive.
Aaron turned into an Asian auntie when it comes to buying a TV, though.
No man can resist low interest loans and non-fat lattes forever.
And white women. So wait, let me get this straight. Whenever a black guy does well, starts wearing Dockers, buys a few Celine Dion records, and sleeps with a white chick, you automatically say he's sold out?
That's enough, Lance.
Always trying to shut the white man down.
It never broke. I was like, I'll upgrade my TV when this one breaks. 12 fucking years, that TV never broke, dude.
Bought a 60-inch TV with the motor in it. Like my John Madden. No, I had a motor in it. Real motor.
That's how they sold you, man. They got a heavy in it.
Pedro, there's a problem when you buy your TV at O'Reilly.
No, Pedro had a Hemi in it and he bought it, dude. That's
I don't know, man. I want to say, Aaron, it sounds like you make a lot of Anglo purchasing decisions. From the sound of it, Pedro, you make a lot of coon purchasing decisions. I mean,
Pedro saying this about me. This is the same motherfucker that had me drive him to the Dollar Tree on Shattuck, the most ghetto Dollar Tree ever.
To get
outside of Cincinnati, the most ghetto Dollar Tree on Shattuck and Berkeley, so he could get some $1 headphones.
Okay.
Or a smartphone.
Pedro go to Ricky Bobby Electronics. That's where you get this shit.
I lost my good headphones on the train somewhere.
Did they have motors in them?
What that got to do with you buying $1 headphones after that?
No, I just wanted to listen to. I had another set of headphones at home.
Is there a pull crank on your headphones?
Come on.
Asking for an ear infection.
Pedro's noise cancellation. You gotta start the noise cancellation like a lawnmower.
Like, hey man, it has white noises sent through, but you gotta crank it.
And we are here with.
You edit that?
This is AG3. Obviously coming faster than Jared starting this damn show because I've been sitting here now for an hour before he started this show. Wow, Jared.
It's playoff Jared in full effect right now, man.
Playoff Jared.
Here's your soundbite, Aaron.
The chief executive has got to be bold within reason and daring in application. I recognize very few people watching this will become president, but I think you'll find lessons in leadership that will apply to your life. As president, sometimes I had information that the American people didn't know, and therefore I had to make decisions what was best for the country on knowledge that wasn't evident. That's just the nature of leadership. One of the things I missed after the presidency was this daily learning, and thankfully painting came into my life. It's a learning experience because with every paint stroke, you learn something new. All right, I'm gonna do another flower. It's important to have a set of priorities that guide you. And your team, your company, your managers have got to understand those priorities. To me, the most important priorities were my faith in my family and my friends. When I was speaking to audiences, I didn't want them to think I was smarter than they were. One of the keys to communication is to figure out how to enable the person you're talking to relax. You know, I was a master at the malaprop. Underestimate. The press corps reaction was, did the guy really just say that?
I ain't got no problem, my boy Joe W.
Yeah, man.
I didn't vote for him, but I ain't got no problem with George
brought
W.
up on war crimes.
I ain't got a problem with George W, dude. Hey, Michelle Obama said he's a great man, and they talk almost every night, so that tells me he's a good
talk almost every night, nigga. Come on.
Look it up. Look up Michelle Obama, George W. They got a really close friendship.
She also got frozen femurs in the freezer, Aaron. So
Jeffrey Dahmer.
My head
I ain't saying nothing bad about my boy George W. You know, for everything that you thought you were at the bottom with George W. You realize at least he was a good person, right? And then we get Trump and we get this awfulness.
Yeah, man, miss that dude, man. I wish he was the governor somewhere.
I was going to vote for his brother. I honestly was.
What? Jesus Christ! Can I get off of this? One nigga said I loved him. The other said I missed him.
I said I ain't got no problem. No. I didn't say I loved him. I said I ain't got no problem.
I gotta go, man. This is crazy.
Trade McCarthy. Trade Paul Ryan.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that's worse than that man right there. A lot of people. We go down the line.
And they were telling him what to say.
How about his president? Yeah. How about Dick Cheney? That dude is Satan himself.
Yeah, Dick Cheney was the one that ran. That was the problem. Was Dick Cheney and
Donald Rumsfeld.
So y'all was in Iraq together?
Yeah, we was in Iraq.
What did you do?
We was looking for weapons of mass destruction.
Did you ever find them?
You know goddamn well we ain't find them. But I always say the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Yeah, and don't forget about that beautiful coon-ass white woman, Condoleezza Rice.
Condoleezza Rice, yeah.
Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice sounds like a Mexican dish. Maybe we should put her on a plate and send her to Mexico so the Mexicans will eat her.
I love Condoleezza Rice.
Oh, well, shout out to George W. Bush, who has a master class. I'm going to tell you how to be a leader. Let people behind you tell you what to say and do. And then commit war crimes. And 15 years later, get your own master class. And we are here with...
I forgot who it's on. I guess it's me. I guess we're coming at you. This is Captain Pete Funk, everybody's favorite truck driver. And I'm coming at you higher than Jared right now. Yeah, you got 40 minutes with me, by the way. Because your nigga ass is high.
All right, we about to have some spiritual milk. To the left. Take a step of faith. Pray once this time. On the devil, let's stomp. On temptation, let's stomp. Bible slide real smooth. Now praise and shout.
I'm glad he was leading. That was dope. That was dope, and I'm glad the white dude was leading the praise and worship. Thank you, Jesus.
You gotta redeem yourself, man. That was fire, nigga. Praise Jesus.
Praise white, beautiful man, Jesus.
Come on.
And we are here with...
Oh man, this is Darius, aka Smoking Out Jared's alter ego, because Jared is not available right now. So I'm only smoking out with the person who is a Jared representative.
All right, here's your soundbite, Darius.
That's right. You will crumble.
Shout out to Tory Lane's daddy. He called everybody out.
Y'all see that was?
Yeah. Tory Lane's daddy. He had one of the hottest takes of 2022 with this.
Top 5 hot take of 2022.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel.
Negro, please.
Yeah, how you gonna say I'm in LA County and this is the worst miscarriage justice? The same place where the Rodney King officers got off, the same place where OJ was declared innocent. Right? He's talking about this is the worst.
The same place where Biggie died and still no one's been caught.
No one's been. Yeah, you ain't even in the top 10. You ain't even in the top 100.
That nigga look like Jared Shroom Dealer.
And we are here with.
Oh, hey, what's going on? This is Brandon, aka Taco Pablo, getting ready to send a well visit, do a well check on Jarrett. I just want to make sure we're recording this. That's the number one thing. So, probably wasted an hour of Aaron and Darius's time. Let's not waste everyone else's time by also not recording this.
Remember that shit would happen before we were on Zoom? That shit would happen every once in a while. Jared would start cursing and get all pissed. Damn it, didn't record none of it. Like, you don't want the computer in front of you in the controls.
And here's your soundbite, Brandon. Oh damn, this was supposed to be Pedro's, but the Jesus thing worked really well. But this is also Pedro's. Oops.
I guess it ain't yours, Brandon.
Pedro sounded like he needed a little Jesus in his life, so I gave him that one. But this was originally gonna be Pedro's because of his Call of Duty handle. Y'all want to play Call of Duty with Pedro? Look out for the handle that sounds like this.
We can't see or hear anything, Jared.
I thought I shared the screen. I'm sorry. That's me being
this motherfucker, dude. All the time we sitting here.
I hate everything about this episode.
All right, here we go. Here's the soundbite.
What's your type? You like black, white?
I like white girls more better.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the thick time.
That's what I'm talking about. Snow bunny.
Yeah. In other words, pod.
Pod. That's what I like. Yeah. Hey, say that bit again. Say it one more time, but say it slow.
Pog. P-A-W-G. Fat ass white girls.
That's what I'm talking about.
What you like, bro?
Yeah.
I like fat ass white girls, the thick time.
Ooh,
the curvy types.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Okay.
I like how one of the comments said he time traveled from 1960 looking for a bag in the future because it was illegal back then. Yeah. That is hilarious. That comment is hilarious. Dude is dressed like he looking like he couldn't afford the full Dragonfly Jones look of the 1960s.
Nah, man, he looked like he worked at the Walmart in like Lexington, Kansas, or some shit like that. That's the kind of clothes he got.
That's hilarious.
Brandon, he looked like he went to a barbershop in 1962, Montgomery, Alabama, and they only had two pictures up. It was cut down real low, and the number 2 was the Dred Scott. And he got the Dred Scott cut.
He's Denzel's assistant coach in the Titans.
That's my mother. That's your mama? Mm-hmm. Very nice, that one. Take a good look at her. Because once you get on that bus, you ain't got no mama no more. You got your brothers on the team, and you got your daddy. Now, you know who your daddy is, don't you? Gary, if you want to play on this football team, you answer me when I ask you, who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Gary?
He looked like one of the kids that remember the Titans.
His hair looked like Wolverine's in the cartoon version of X-Men.
Come on. That's exactly what it looked like.
He looked like one of the Nigerian spin-offs X-Men.
Nigerian spin-off.
Well, if you want to know Pedro's handle, it's I Love White Women. So if you want to find him on Call of Duty, get his Twitch stream.
Man, that dude he looked like he's straight out the 60s, back when they thought Mexican women were white
women. The only time I actually want you to finish that soundbite. It's actually just as funny.
You want me to keep going?
What's your name again, bro, before we go, bro? Because we got to go, man. I ain't going to lie to you.
We ain't going to hold you up, bro.
Remember my name, Joshua Henderson.
We're going to holler.
Never forget that. May my name be the last thing you ever hear.
All right.
Yeah.
That'll work, bro.
All right, bro. You take it easy now, bro.
Hey, good luck to you.
Don't forget about it, ever.
Oh, nah. I know a villain when I see one. This nigga pronounced the dash at Walmart. Walmart! Get the fuck out of here, bro. This nigga ain't even real.
I work at Walmart.
He said pronounce the dash at Walmart.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Said, let my name be the last.
All right, I like how we making fun of people with special needs.
Yeah, I feel like he on the spectrum too. I felt like he was very spectrum.
Man, he's the black Andrew Tate, man. He has like tell these bitches, watch out for me.
He actually looked like Cuba Gooding Jr. on radio.
That's fucked up.
God damn, Pedro.
Damn, Pedro. Jared, man, what the fuck you mean? I need you to go. I need you to go a week off of social media, dude.
Darius sent this to the group. And my name is Jared, aka DJ Art, with 2 T's for a double dose of that tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart.
People took to the streets to celebrate the return of their king.
Oh shit, my nigga MLK! Hey, what's up, folks? Hey, that Got a Dream shit was off the chain, nigga.
Happy MLK Day weekend, y'all. It is MLK Day weekend. Some big NFL news, but it is MLK weekend, so just want to give a shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King.
You know, sweet, I met Dr. Martin Luther King once. And you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah, I met Dr. Martin Luther King in 1962 in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, just walking off, feeling good. I walk around the corner, man woke up, hit me in my chest, right? I fall on the ground, right? And I look up, it's Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, Dr. King. He said, oops, I thought you were somebody else. Oh, man, you lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther King.
And to all our beautiful white listeners out there, how did you spend your weekend? Did you spend it as a weekend of service, or did you go to the mountain and hit them slopes? You let me know. Tap in with us. How did you guys spend the weekend?
Hold on, I know you're not trying to talk down on our beautiful white listeners right now for going skiing on MLK weekend.
You know,
you're not even gonna remember MLK weekend.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Brandon, because he has something against white people going skiing on Martin Luther King weekend. When this motherfucker missed work, he missed several days of work because his ass took his ass skiing and got snowed in.
Did I do it on MLK's weekend though?
It don't matter what day it is, you still miss work. At least the MLK Day, they got the day off.
Unless you live in North Carolina, because everything's open tomorrow.
Tory Lanez father went from being angry at the world to forgiving Meg Thee Stallion because of the lessons he learned from MLK.
Okay.
Really worried about the direction of the show.
I'm really worried about the direction of this motherfucking hair Tory Lanez down.
Exactly. This nigga got a penciled in.
He got the shack. He got the shack bet the way the hairline. It looked like he used the number 2 pencil or 4H. Looked like he used a 4H on that one.
He looked like Catino Moby fucked Dexter. That's what he looked like.
Come on.
Dexter's laboratory. He had this to say.
Our family have long decided that we are not going to hold any animosity against Megan Pete, aka Megan Thee Stallion. We forgave that girl long time ago, because again, we know that the principle of forgiveness is important in order to cleanse one's heart, to cleanse one's soul, and to not be, bound up with hatred and, hatred, trust me, resentment, bitterness, those things can actually cause diseases of the bones.
Can we start with this? THEE is pronounced the. I just had to say that as a public service announcement moving forward. I'm getting tired of rappers fucking up English. Your job is to rap with lyrics and words. Stop fucking up English, man. It's Megan Thee Stallion. That's how you spelled it. You want it to be The Stallion, then just put 1 E in the shit. I mean, I'll let you go off, even though all stallions are males too, horses, but I'll let you get away with being ignorant with that. But don't be ignorant with the versus the.
Well, Megan Thee Stallion has been forgiven. I don't know if it was because of MLK, but the father came out. Tory Lanez's daddy came out this weekend or on Friday, whatever it was, and announced that they had forgiven her long ago. But they are going to still go after the system that is trying to oppress black men the way they are oppressing his son. So what do you guys think about that?
I really don't fucking care, but I need Darius to talk about this because I don't care. Darius, please come back. I need Brandon, you go. I need Darius, Pedro, somebody come back to the screen and talk.
I know very little about this and care less. So,
all right. Well, justice for Tory Lanez. We'll leave it at that.
You have to like Tory Lanez, Mamiya.
He's being oppressed by the man for potentially, or actually for being convicted of shooting a gun in public. That's unfortunate.
I mean, that is a law, right?
He's being oppressed to not be allowed to shoot his gun.
And he hit somebody, right?
That's debatable.
If he did it out here, we got away with it.
He acted like it was a magic bullet. Like, no, man, he was aiming at the ground and it ricocheted about 10 things and then hit JFK and went through him and then back to Meg Thee Stallion.
Exactly.
Meg Thee Stallion got hit with that bullet that was still traveling from the JFK from 1967.
No. What had happened was Magneto was trying to attack him, and Tory Lanez tried to shoot him, and Magneto ricocheted the bullet.
He was trying to save him because JFK was a mutant.
Yeah. You see, that man is trying to be on television. He was showing out when he came up there to the courthouse. That young broad. I shouldn't know Tory Lanez's dad.
That's the best way of putting it.
That's the best way I can put it.
I should be confusing that man for Catino Mobley on the street. That's it.
Is that Catino Mobley's little brother? All right. Well, in news this week, Iggy Azalea has an OnlyFans.
Here we go. God damn.
Well, I think you only want to do this podcast this week just for Iggy Azalea. I'm almost sure of it.
God damn it.
AG3, what do you think about that?
You know how I feel about it. We discussed this yesterday, man. I'm not happy about it. This is taken away. And I already explained. I don't want to explain it. I don't want to explain my reasons to the world. I explained it to you already. God damn you, Jared.
Shout out to Iggy, man. Just keep those checks coming in. It's a very crucial time for her because she made her money with the music. Thought it was going to last forever. And she was like, I keep putting out records and nobody's listening to this shit. So now she has to figure out, how am I actually going to make a living without having to get a job at Trader Joe's?
She needs to start doing commercial music. That's what she need to do. Just do commercial music that they can use in commercial.
To do commercial music.
What you mean? She got tire marks.
Exactly.
Finish line with the fire marks. When the relay starts to move on the way train. Master, she know the pants got spit like a plaster. Raptor, bench, her deal like dough, like dash, her faster, motorbike faster. He gotta get a bitch back to the raptor. White bitch stroke like a blow like a wind. Hey, out your rooftop in the wind. When I win, no when I win it, they good like she got hoes on call. Got hoes on call to come through, take a protocol. Just damaging, that's my protocol. This many Australians on slow, and no camera. I don't care who you are. No killer rap, gotta give it to you raw. Bitch, 1 point, when the piece me enjoy, gotta twist this beat. I'm spraying my joint. Straight crack rap. Walk to the pop, who know to the race, you know, Tiggy, yeah, should he do it? I'm roll, no diggle, come motherfucking man. It's Iggy, not jiggle.
So now she about to fuck up the OnlyFans games for the people that like getting the shit for free, like me. I like booty. Because all the people, we're in a good place in OnlyFans. Leave OnlyFans for the P stars and the amateur P stars. I'm tired of celebrities taking over OnlyFans because they don't put shit on there. It'd be them with a hair covering over everything or stickers or something stupid like that. And then the people who are willing to spend money on this and then put it on the free sites, they lose focus. And they're like, oh, I got to go ahead and spend 3 times the amount I normally spend on a regular P star or amateur P star and spend all this money on Iggy Azalea to get nothing. And then my free sites, I start lacking them.
I want winners.
Stay away. Her, Carmen Electra, old ass and plastic ass and face done 1 million times, Denise Richards.
I want people that want to win.
Stay off of OnlyFans. Let people have it. You had your revenue streams. Stick to those. And when your 15 minutes is up, it's up, dude. It's up.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Breaking news. The offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens is trying to lose the game.
I don't know, man. He went for
I never saw a shot
on the 1 yard line.
in football.
That was a 99-yard fumble return. Todd Huntley needs to realize, nigga, you at the 2.5 yard line. You is not 7 feet. Oh,
you know what I thought? I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe he scored. Then they showed a clear.
No, he wasn't even close.
A yard short.
He got blocked. I've never seen a block in pro football.
I never seen that.
Hand the ball off to your big running backs and make them stop you 3-4 times in a row. Stop all the bullshit.
Wait, was that first down?
Jared, it is the highest percentage play is a quarterback sneak on 4th and 2 and 1. Like that is the highest.
It was third down. They missed the pass on the first play.
Yeah, no, it's third down. That was a bad call. No, just don't.
That wasn't a bad call. He was at the 2.
He's your quarterback. He has a shoulder injury.
And he's short. He's not tall.
Every game the players so far has had a quarterback sneak.
I know that.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones is 6'3", Brandon, with the long ass wingspan.
Trevor Lawrence
they
is
both football players, man.
Trevor Lawrence is 6'5" with the long ass wingspan.
And those are your number 1 quarterbacks. This is your backup quarterback. Hand
He's
it off
on the field.
to your
Jared.
running back.
He's 5'10", Brandon. My argument is he's 5'10", Brandon. He's 5'10". He's not tall enough to
He is your
ball.
backup also. He's not your starter.
He could barely jump above the offensive line. Those other guys are reaching over the offensive line.
It's the same thing like when Miami motherfucking decided, hey, man, it's 3rd and 19. You know what? Let's chuck up a fucking throw down the sideline and let them get picked off at our 30-yard line. And that turned the whole game around.
That did.
Nobody goes out there trying to throw an interception, though. It's a good play. Generally, it's a safe play call. That's not the kind of plays you get turnovers on.
Brandon, when you're
it's a
at
good play.
the 1 yard line, I get that. They were at the 2.5. They were past the 2 yard line. It wasn't one of those where we just need to fall forward. That's why he tried to reach his arms out, and he still came up a yard short. Brandon, no, it was more than 12 inches.
No, that's bad decision making. That's just what happens in football. That's not the play call.
Bad decision making on the play call. Hand it off to your running backs who can pound them. They should have made that call. That's why I said the O coordinator is fucking up.
I'm saying it's a good play call. It's a solid play call. It's a safe play call. You try to draw an inside slant.
Say that on the sideline
like the Seahawks.
I didn't say they should throw inside slant. I said they need to hand the ball.
No, he didn't do that. There's much shit you could have did. They could have did a toss to the outside. They could have tried to do a wide receiver screen. There's much shit you could have did. That is the safest play they could have did.
With guys that are stronger.
Hike the ball to the quarterback and lean for it. That was the play. Safe play.
That's not a safe play because obviously it went for 99. It's a fucking record-setting play, Brandon. That's not a good call. It'd be one thing if the defensive player made a crazy play, like he jumped over the pile right as the ball was snapped and hit him and caused him to fumble. No, he got stood up. That line got stood up, didn't get the push, and he tried to reach out, and he was still a yard short from where he was. That's a bad play call. I'd rather have a 230-pound running back with lanes to look at and ability to get a running start to jump over the top than a quarterback who has no momentum trying to reach over the top further than the distance of his body.
Hey, Jared, can I ask you a question? Tell me about a time in which you were playing football and that actually happened to you.
Man, I was playing Madden 05 this one time.
Yeah,
here we go.
And I said, why would I do a QB sneak when I can hand it off to Julius Jones? And I know he's going to hit that hole. And I know Larry Allen's going to create that hole. Avion Kason, I know he's going to hit that hole.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Avion Crockett might hit the hole.
Avion Kason, he was a backup running back for the Cowboys back in 05.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ.
It is the NFL playoffs, as we know. Right now, we are actually watching Baltimore play Cincinnati. Cincinnati just had a major play to take the lead, and it was a bad call on the offensive coordinator on my part. But Skip Bayless came out this week as Baltimore is playing with their backup quarterback and had this to say.
Because he knows the notion is out there that this is mostly about contract, much more about contract than knee injury.
Yeah.
I said, this is a showdown. This is going to come to a big, ugly collision.
It is.
And they started it because they wouldn't finish a contractual negotiation.
Correct.
So Lamar has quit on them because they quit on him first.
Do you guys think that Lamar Jackson is not playing because he's actually injured or because he doesn't have the contract and he's protecting himself?
No, I would say he said, I'm gonna go out here and play. He fucked up his knee and said, you know what? This might not be as good an idea as I thought it was gonna be coming out here, trying to prove myself. So I mean, I think I would sit down till I was 100%. Much like Aaron's man Shaq said, I got hurt on company time. I'm gonna get well on company time. So he's going till he's 100%. But I do think he's hurt, man. I don't think that a PCL thing is nothing to joke about, man. You probably hear about him having surgery at the end of the season or something shit like that, just trying to clean it up or whatnot. But yeah, man, I wouldn't be out there if if I don't necessarily feel the commitment level from them. Especially like when he's already brought him to the playoffs, got the MVP, like they have the whole offense built around him. And it's not like they sucked this year. Like they were winning games. They were
in first place until he got hurt.
Most of it is just the fact he saw people clamor for Deshaun Watson and try to throw out these big ass numbers for him. He's like, I'm better than that dude. He saw Aaron Rodgers get paid, better than that dude. he saw Kirk Cousins get paid, all that guaranteed money. I'm better than that dude. Like he's just trying to get his money.
I'm a Brandon. I think he's hurt, but I think if he had a guaranteed $250 million contract, he'd probably be playing today. At least dressed and gave it a try. And I don't blame him. Like he won the MVP. He's seen people in his quarterback class now get guaranteed contracts. I'm with Brandon. Like I wouldn't be playing either. I mean, I believe he's hurt, but I wouldn't be trying it, not without my guaranteed contract. Like what else I got to do? I won the MVP. took you to playoffs, had the best record before, won a playoff game. What else I have to do?
But do you think he owes it to the guys that, have, given up another season?
Nope.
Because he was averaging 2 yards a pass. They be kicking him off the goddamn team. So
exactly. They owe him his money. That's who owe anybody. The only person that owe anybody is the Bengals owing him his money.
That's a bitch move. I'm coming for that ass again until you pay what you owe.
I mean the Baltimore Ravens.
Whoever.
Yeah, no, I do feel as though right now, like Baltimore got caught between a rock and a hard spot. Like they look like they got a really good defense and they have a really good running game. It's built all around him. But it brings me back to like what happened to RG3. Remember when RG3 came out and tried to basically play on a partially torn knee in the playoffs and then fully tore that shit. It was never the same player. He never got a second like real like guaranteed big time contract, which he would have for sure gotten to be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league. So I do agree that, to protect himself and not have something devastating happen to the point where they're going to sign you for even less or nobody's going to want to take a chance on you. Protect yourself, leave out that good film and allow your play to speak for itself.
No, I think this classic contract bargaining, we've seen black quarterbacks go through this. McNabb went through this. RG3 is a great example. Geno Smith. I think it's a good idea to protect yourself and your health and your wealth, man. Like,
I think I gotta call bullshit though. You said Geno Smith?
Geno Smith got hurt. This is second year, third year?
Yeah, he got punched by his own teammate. For not paying him $25.
Hold on, is that why he was hurt? Nah.
One of his injuries.
Nah, hell no. I'm talking about when he had like the hip or the leg injury, whatever.
Oh, yeah. That was. He also didn't get paid because he didn't play good.
Okay, well, yeah, he was having some shit.
He was writing back.
I call Geno Smith Negro Smith. He was doing some nigga shit as a quarterback in the NFL. He was not responsible. Anybody get punched in the face, get his jaw broke, it's not a leader.
You got a fringe dude mad enough to say, I don't care if I'm on this team anymore.
Yeah! And that nigga owe me $5.
I will knock this nigga out. And he was cut the next day. But it's like, you got somebody that mad. That's a sign of he needs to go check in with George W. Bush. He needs to go to take George W. Bush. Maybe that's what he did this year. He took George W. Bush masterclass.
I was a master at the malaprop. Misunderestimate.
George W. Bush, teach people how to be a good leader.
I'm gonna do another flower.
It sounds like everyone is pro Lamar Jackson. He's not letting down his team. It's unfortunate. But I heard Desmond Howard and your boy, the other guy from College Game Day, what's his name? Kirk Herbstreit. Talking shit about him not loving the game as much as old players did. So, in other football news, the San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles were up 27-0 and promptly blew that shit and lost on a game-winning field goal as time expired. What do you guys think about that?
That's what people from San Diego do. Worst fake big city in California, San Diego. I know Darius stayed there, so that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, man, that's kind of messed up. I do like San Diego as a city, but I never liked the Chargers. That's why I'm glad they got their ass to LA, and now they're even dumber. So they might as well eliminate the team or consolidate them and call them the Los Angeles Charge Rams, the Charger Rams or something.
Pedro, what's an electric car that is really bad at charging?
All of them.
Where does you call them the Los Angeles Dodgers? Because Dodge makes Rams and they make Chargers.
Dodge Chargers. Ooh, they get sponsored by Dodge.
That's not a bad one.
Wait, we should sell that. Darius, you better trademark that and sell it to
him. Stop trying to take my ideas and saying weed.
I just said you need to trademark that.
We need to trademark that.
Man, we smart, man.
Man, I'm sorry, Darius. I'm sorry, Darius. Everyone steal everything from you. Just like your decision making in Call of Duty. Anyways, the Chargers were up 27-0 after a 5-turnover first half by the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were the home team. It looked like it was a game that was being played like on a simulation on Madden, how quiet the stadium was. The Jaguars were playing like dog shit that whole first half pretty much. The Chargers went up, seemed unstoppable, and in the second half only mustered 3 points and ended up falling 31-30. Do you guys think that this was really gritty play by Jacksonville or more so just a major collapse and bad coaching by the Chargers?
Both.
I blame Joey Bosa.
That's
You
who
got-
can't stop the
The longest tenured players seem to want to get 15-yard penalties more than sacks because he had 2 of those.
Do you see the way that ref got in his face after he yelled at him?
Because he said
dude, I
so,
thought-
he probably called him the N-word as he walked by.
What
He said,
did
"What
you
did you
say,
say to me,
nigga?
nigga?"
Oh, yeah. Look at you. You was popping all that good shit a second ago.
That was
It's
the
MLK
part.
Day weekend. You can't talk to me that way.
Nigga,
He said, "You eat a
dick."
Anyways, Maga Bosa got mad, had 2 unsportsmanlike penalties, which ended up playing a pivotal role in the game. He got a penalty after a touchdown where he felt like they were maybe false started and he got held a little bit, ended up throwing his helmet. They then went for 2 on the 1-yard line because of the penalty instead of kicking their normal field goal. Got that 2-point conversion, which made them only down 2 points and only needed a field goal to win the game, potentially, which they were able to get the ball back and kick a game-winning field goal. So, Brandon, you said you blame Joey Bosa. Aaron, I know
mostly I blame their offensive line issues because they had a couple offensive linemen already out. They had another offensive lineman go down during the game. They couldn't run the ball, so they couldn't let the air out of the ball to let time run out. Austin Eckler can only catch so many screens and do it for 5 yards, man. They couldn't run the ball. Their coach is terrible. I hope Sean Payton takes that job.
No.
I think he's the dude. And I think it's a job he can say, hey, man, I want this one. And then
No, he could pick his job now. Sean Payton
I want to see Sean Payton at Jackson State.
Well, you know what? If you take away the head, the body will fall. You might get your chance. You get no one of those speeches from Greg Williams. He might be that.
Do you guys think Brandon Staley should be fired?
I think he's a bad coach. I think he shouldn't have never been hired. And like he was one of those young white guys that got a job without really proving it. And he showed it the way they called the game last year when they didn't make the playoffs. Remember, he called a timeout. A tie would have got him in the playoffs, them and the Raiders. And remember Versace? He said we were going to go for the tie. That's why we were running out the clock. But then once San Diego called a timeout, he was like, dude, well, we might as well go for the win now because they don't want us to go get the tie. So let's get the win. Brandon Staley was too stupid to understand that the Raiders were going for a tie.
Yeah, Brandon Staley likes to do yoga on the sidelines before the game.
Yeah, he likes to do all the shit that don't help you win football games.
He likes to do what Kyrie does on the court before the game. He likes to go out and do some stuff and show that he's in tune with himself. And it
Not in
seem to be
tune with
working
the
out.
game. Bad play call. Dude, they went to a prevent. Remember, I was on the phone with you during that game. I was like, dude, they were in a prevent. Right when Jacksonville was driving down for their first touchdown, I said, they could get back in this game. If San Diego's going to play defense like this, prevent, giving up 5 yards and 7 yards each pass, they're going to lose this game.
Yeah, you did say that. That was pretty shocking that their offense didn't figure something out in the second half to be more effective. And
Well, it was just like against the Raiders. Remember, they kept throwing all those outs instead of the middle of the field was wide open last year. They kept throwing outs, and it's like the middle of the field was wide open. And it's like, dude, you haven't figured this out on offense? I'll be honest. They got more receiver talent and running back talent than Kansas City have right now. And the way that everybody was slurping up Justin Herbert, you would think that, okay, man, he was the preseason MVP or Pro Football Focus. Everybody else, he was the 1 or 2 top quarterback in the league ahead of Mahomes. And he don't put up Mahomes-like numbers to have better wide receivers than Mahomes have.
Nobody puts up home type numbers.
He is the one they all glaze and suck up, and he don't put up those numbers. And he has better receivers than Mahomes.
He has a worse coach. He has a worse coach too, man.
A much worse coach. Well, another reason why people are calling for his, potential firing is because their Week 18 game, which was a non-factor in their positioning for the playoffs, they decided to play Mike Williams, who ended up injuring himself and was unable for the game.
For a coach that don't play anybody in preseason, decided to play everybody in a meaningless game, that Week 18 game.
I think what is even more interesting is that, and this is why I think Staley does. I think Staley should be fired because I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's kind of stupid. You have a guy who has a history of injuries. You have a guy who was a first-round pick and is a really good talent, can be a game-changing player on the field for you, and is a player that has physical ability that is, uncoachable. And he has a history of injuries, back injuries, neck injuries. That's one guy that you can say, hey, you know what? Take a seat and rest. We got younger guys, whatever. Like if it's a young guy, it's one of your young guys who's you're trying to keep some kind of game flow. You want to keep some kind of continuity because they're still developing, evolving. That's fine. This is a guy who's a veteran now in his 4th or 5th season. but has had a history and a myriad of injuries where you got to maximize the games you can get out of him. You can't count on him for a full season of games. So why would you play him in a meaningless game? That's one of the guys that you would definitely be like, no, we don't need him for a meaningless game. But they played him. He got injured. They didn't have him. And their offense, which was clicking the whole first half, mainly because they were also getting short fields, couldn't figure anything out in the second half. And that's partly into coaching, even compounding that. So I think he should be fired.
Doubt they fire him, though.
They should fire before they fire the Baltimore Greg Roman ass, stupid ass.
Can the Jaguars fire Urban Meyer again? Because that'd be good. If they just said
that job, they fired him again.
Hey, we are firing our coach Urban Meyer just so he knows he cannot come back.
I don't hang out with him. I work with him, and that's it. I tried to introduce him to a few nice people. He made a fool of himself. I don't mess with him, baby. That's not me.
In other news, Reyna, the U.S. men's national soccer team, has proven why they will never be good. Reyna, one of the young stars, an 18 or 19-year-old star for the U.S. men's national team, who plays at he plays overseas at a big German club. Correct, Aaron? What club?
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund. He plays. He starts for Borussia Dortmund.
He starts for the number one club in Germany.
Number two club.
Oh, the second best. What's the number one team?
Bayern Munich.
Oh, Bayern.
Hey,
I forgot about Bayern Munich. Yeah.
Aaron, I think you should lead in this story.
Anyways,
he's doing a good job. He's
George Bushing right now. He's got somebody listening behind him.
Did I underestimate? Anyways, Reyna was benched during the World Cup by no reason of his own volition. He just was being immature. However, his parents, showing only the resolve American parents can show, decided to out the U.S. men's national team head coach Greg Berhalter for kicking his wife some 30 years ago.
In college.
They sent information and knowledge of his domestic disturbance or abuse, you could call it domestic abuse, when he wasn't married to his now wife from 30 years ago to the chairman of U.S. Soccer, which did not renew Berhalter's contract. And they said that this was in no way a vendetta or them getting back at Berhalter, although they were disappointed in their son's experience at the World Cup. What do you guys think about that?
It was white women privilege all the way because the dad didn't do it. It was the mom that did it. Reyna's dad, who's Latin American, didn't do it. It was his mom. It was white woman privilege. Soccer mom.
What happened to you? He had sex with a white girl, that's what.
Oh, was it everything I dreamed of? Good. She had pink nipples, didn't she?
Big ones.
Compliments the drapes.
Excuse me.
It's crazy how it is. The reason why she knew that is because her best friend in college, they played for North Carolina, and her best friend and teammate and roommate was Berhalter's wife, then girlfriend who became wife.
Crazy.
That's some crazy shit, man. That's some white women privilege shit right there.
I need to see the January 6ers complaining to the U.S. soccer team about that man losing his job for something that happened 30 years ago. Yeah. It's cancel culture. And if those January 6ers that really want to fight for the red, white, and blue of this country and the flag that represents us, then they would be up at the U.S. soccer headquarters complaining right now.
Okay, sure.
Anyways, David Sampson, former Miami Marlins VP, chairman, and GM, or president of baseball operations, maybe? I don't remember. Had this to say about Gio Reyna's parents and whether or not Gio Reyna should ever play for U.S. soccer again.
You mentioned that Gio Reyna should never play for the U.S. soccer team, and I couldn't disagree more. I think Gio Reyna, from all accounts right now, and there'll be more reporting done on this, isn't innocent in all this. His biggest
Kids
offense
are often innocent, but they have to pay the price.
He should not. He should not.
We release players because their parents were a pain in the ass.
Let me ask you something.
Not a great player.
If Miguel Cabrera,
one of our
Hanley
number one
Ramirez,
picks, our number one pitcher,
was he good?
Yes.
He was not a good pro.
He was going to be a good pro.
Was he a good pro? Did he turn out to be a good pro?
I mean, when you're by the way, we're just mincing words. When you're a minor league player, you're a professional.
Okay, but
So
Gio
was he a
Reyna
major
is a
leaguer
good
yet?
professional. Gio Reyna
At the highest level.
Gio Reyna plays for Borussia Dortmund. Gio Reyna is very good for Borussia Dortmund.
Are we
Gio
listening
Reyna
to
is one
another
of the best
podcast on
talents.
our
He's
podcast
18 years old. Yeah, he's one of the best talents we've ever put out. You're not closing the door on one of the greatest generational talents because his dad and mom wanted to be assholes
It's
one time.
collateral damage.
Do you guys think that David Sampson is right and that Gio Reyna should never be on the U.S. men's national team again? Or do you think that his talent overrides that?
Can't trust him.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that guy. Like, you know what? Collateral damage, man. This is what happens sometimes. Your mom open her fucking mouth, and there's going to be people that can't trust you. I wouldn't want him as my teammate. I wouldn't want him as my teammate because he was 20 years old and his mama's still out here fighting his battles. I wouldn't want him as my teammate.
I want to see him when we get down to crunch time and we down a goal with 5 minutes left.
And he's good, but nah, man. I can't have you, your mama over here.
Mommy.
Your mama might get mad because I'm starting over you. And next thing you know, she telling people how I'm cheating on my wife out there in fucking Brazil or something. So I can't have that shit. She gonna tell some old ass story.
Or she could be
some old ass story about Jared being with some transsexual or something. Who knows?
Or she could be like that female soccer player Diallo in France for PSG who got. Hey, let's go get some lunch. I'm gonna take y'all for lunch. Oh, they breaking into the car. They took my phone. They beating us. Mainly just you.
They beat her. They kept beating her legs, but they took my phone though. My phone gone. I'm sad about my phone. They beat her legs, but I'm sad about my phone. What? They didn't take her phone. They were supposed to. What? They didn't. Yeah.
That's weird.
What a shock. What do you guys think? If a teammate's parent came out and outed your head coach or, outed another player for some previous transgressions, whether they were 30 years ago or 30 days ago, would you guys feel safe or would you guys feel confident in that teammate?
I would not feel comfortable because that was her best friend and roommate. That she just outed their best friend and roommate's husband and made her husband lose a job. She fucking up their financial situation. I wouldn't want him as my teammate. Nah, man.
I will not tolerate players that think it's about them when it's about the team. We cannot make decisions that cost the team and then come off the sideline and it's nonchalant. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team.
What do you think, Pedro?
I actually never understood any of this because of soccer. Don't care. Yeah. Funny thing, I heard that whole podcast episode, Jared. I was at work. I paid it no attention. I think I was falling asleep while driving.
Come on.
I think I hit another cow.
If you Google Arizona truck accidents, I think it was January 12th. I'm not joking.
Like that pile up on the I-80 or the I-10?
Google I-10.
I-10.
That was me.
That was probably me. I fell asleep listening to that podcast.
You're stupid. Brandon, how about you? You played football. What if like the backup quarterback's mom or the backup left tackle's mom ratted out one of the other players? How would you feel about that teammate?
Nah, man, I think don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I feel like when it's two players, though, like there's just going to be a fight. And you just got to either whatever happens with that. Or you talk about a player on the team whose parents who have beef with the coach or whatnot. That's a different situation. But that happens in Little League and T-ball all the fucking time. Like, hey, man, I know this nigga. Like, we went to high school together and you not playing my son. Like, you hear that shit all the time. Of people like being in the same community for a long time and having backstories with the coach or whatever. So it is what it is, man. I think I'm not familiar with soccer, so I can't say if he's a good enough player to sort of ignore all that. But like,
he's one of their best players.
you don't want to bring drama onto the team or keep drama on the team if you don't have to, especially if you have one of those loose cannon parents. So you have to tell him like, hey, she can't come to any of the games. Don't bring her in the locker room. Just like the girlfriend who'd be trying to sleep with all the teammates too. Just, hey, don't bring her around the team.
Now, Darius, what do you think about this situation? How do you feel about this mother stepping in and defending her son?
I like the white privilege of it, but I think I'm gonna say this in the nicest way. It sounds like she raising the pussy. All right, I'm sorry. I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to say it like that. You know, I'm trying to be PC, but it sounds like that's what you're doing. And, you know, you never want your kid to be raised in a way with so much bitch assness. So I'm going to let them live on their own, do their own thing.
Well, shout out to Gio Reyna's mama. Come on our show. We love to hear your side of the story. Figure out at what point did you decide I'm going to write up this email with this information and click send? And when you hit send, did you feel good about it or did you feel bad?
She ain't never feel bad. She don't feel guilty about that shit. If she didn't report this, she would be over there reporting probably Brandon over there barbecuing at the lake.
So we all good with Gio Reyna staying on the team or never playing again? Which one? What y'all saying?
Hey man,
I wouldn't play with them. I don't care what they do. They got to make a decision regardless. They ain't got shit to do with me. I just wouldn't play with his ass, is what I'm saying.
Well, I would say if he never played on soccer team on USA Soccer again, would anybody notice?
Exactly. Exactly.
If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there.
Exactly. I agree. I watch soccer and I agree with Brandon's assessment right there. Like the motherfucking Lionel Messi.
When the biggest story of the year about your team is off the field about some bullshit like this,
about a soccer mom doing soccer mom shit.
I hope she dropped out the documents in a Honda Pilot.
It's a Sienna with the automatic doors on the side. She probably hit the automatic door to open up on the side, went around the car, pulled the documents off the back seat, and then took it in.
I am delivered.
All right, let's get to Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts is a segment in the show on where everyone gets a chance to rant, complain, or highlight something positive in the world. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts.
It's time. We're burning now. God, if you let it in, hell, so cold and bleeding now. I'm in for this, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a bacchiana.
Aaron, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
I do, but I also feel like my jingle's better than that one. I can't wait for the remaster to Cutty Corner Shout where we can finally stop listening to that song from that stupid ass right. Hopefully I can influence you to get off your ass and improve that. After the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, shout out to our patrons that pay y'all do music. Classic. Y'all can make our
even Skip and Shannon got a new. They every 3 years they'll get a new opening rap.
What's something that started with the show? Cutty Corners. What's something that started?
You didn't have that song to start with Cutty Corner though.
Yeah, it's been running about 4 years now.
My Cutty Corner shout out goes to too much of a certain thing. For starters, I like to say, like, I watched this basketball video by this guy I really respect on YouTube, makes some great basketball video. Johnny Arnett. That's the name. Really good basketball YouTube. He did one on the NBA has a scoring dilemma. He loves the new scoring, but he talks about how too much of something can be bad, right? And he's like, the NBA created this scoring thing we have. We have good athletes. He likes the athletes now, but it's just a little too much. Like they're not calling certain things. Like 20 points today doesn't mean what 20 points meant in the 90s. Like Elijah Wan averaging 22 points. Back then it meant he was one of the highest scorers, but now it means nothing. But not just because the players are better, but because of rule changes and other things. But anyway, this is my too much of wokeness is a bad thing. Too much of wokeness can be a bad thing. I like Jared to make sure he hears this. So I watched a show this week. I was looking forward to it. It was called Velma. It's an animated show on HBO, written and produced by Mindy Kaling.
That's the Indian girl from The Office, the American Office.
That's the Indian girl from The Office, the Indian girl from everything. She has two white kid. She won't say who the father is. To quote one person one Indian dude after watching Velma's Indian on the show, just to let you know. Mm-hmm. She's Indian. She's also like kind of pansexual, like she's into women and men, which we used to just call that bisexual. I don't know how pan came out there. Also, Daphne. Daphne is Asian American, adopted by two lesbians played by Wanda Sykes and Jane Lynch, right? Who character happened to be black and white, and she's Indian with somehow orange hair, played by Constance Wu. And Shaggy's black. Now, I grew up on Scooby-Doo. I liked it. I didn't care about their race and all this. But too much wokeness can be too much of a bad thing. I like to quote this one guy named Sid on Twitter, Indian guy, who said, Mindy Kaling is the worst thing that happened to Indians since the British. Another Indian person saying Mindy Kaling needs to stop portraying Indian girls as losers. I'm personally extremely cool and sick of it. Another Indian chick said, I'm happy Mindy Kaling's style of writing brown girls that hate themselves wasn't around when I was younger and only became a thing when I was an age where I love my heritage and skin color. And it's just like, dude, she's like, you know, her wokeness and all that. She's like the epitome of, what can I say, the progressive white left. She's the epitome of it. Person of color, but she's a person of color only on the outside, the way she acts.
Everything you're saying doesn't make her sound very woke. I mean, it just makes her sound self-deprecating at the best. She's typically woke, self-hating.
She's woke because she's willing to, like, hey, let me take this show that was a great children's show and not just make it sarcastic, which would have been fine, but let me redo it with all these characters of color. The black dude's gonna be black in looks but sound really white. He's got dreads.
The Indian girl is gonna be dark and talk white. The Asian girl is gonna talk white.
Hey man, this Aaron's Cutty Corner, man.
I'm sorry, I watched it too, and I agree with the majority of what he's saying.
She's gonna hate herself, and then the Asian girl's gonna be adopted and make fun of that. She has orange hair and Asian, but that's it. But she ain't really acts white and is head of the white girl clique, right? So it is woke, Jared. The problem is the new woke. See, the problem is I think you still have a vision that the woke is this one vision. No, this is what woke is.
Don't misrepresent my wokeness, because I know what woke is, and that is not woke.
This is what woke is, Jared. The wokeness has been taken over. It's not a person of color wokeness anymore.
No. Token representation, I get, is a problem. Token representation, just to represent it. But
this is a token representation by a person of color.
And I can see through that. And I was like, the content of this program is not what I would think is quality or super tight. Like, I was like, yes, I wanted to like it. I agree.
I wanted to like it too.
But I was like, we don't need token representation to say, oh, this is a progressive show, and then have stupid ass jokes and self-hating ass tropes continue to be maintained through the character and writing.
And that's why wokeness is too much. Too much wokeness is a bad thing, Jared.
I don't think that's woke, though. I think that's just...
It is. This is what wokeness has become, Jared. When you start canceling people for shit that happened 35 years ago that their own wife forgave them for as they were young. They didn't forgive him in that moment. And the person had to really change who he was and show he changed. So his girlfriend took him back years later and then married him. But nah, that's what wokeness is. Wokeness tells me...
You sound like you sound like somebody on the far right now. You sound like a January 6th. No, misrepresenting what wokeness is from the get-go.
Because wokeness has become taken over and hijacked by women wearing Gucci.
You can't hijack something, but that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying.
They hijacked it already.
You can't let people who are hijacking just the same way they did
hijacked already, Jim.
All right, but I'm saying that's not wokeness. That's technically not wokeness anymore. And we know what wokeness is. And this is where I get mad when everyone tries to use that. And the right has done a great job of using that as the new term to use when you want to call out some bullshit. Yes, it is bullshit. Velma's not great. Bullshit. Don't worry. Velma will get its wrath of cancel culture soon enough, because it's probably gonna get canceled after this fucking season. But what I will tell you is that is not wokeness. And what real wokeness was about black people awakening and people of color awakening to the social, economic, oppressive forces that were, saying,
and that's gone now. The wokeness has been hijacked, Jared. It's been hijacked.
Then it's not woke. I'm calling Dr. Umar Johnson right now.
Stephen A. Smith, I sentence you to 4,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
You need the lashes, Jared. I'm the one that needs to call.
No, you need the lashes for misrepresenting what real wokeness is, Aaron.
Michael Wilbon, you fat, bald-headed, no-neck midget, I sentence you to 3,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
give you lashes, Jared. I'll need to call Dr. Umar. We need to sit here and talk
I agree
to
with
Dr.
everything
Umar.
you're saying, other than labeling it as trying to be woke.
I'm labeling it as a new wokeness. Maybe not the old original wokeness, because I agree with you. The old
Token
original
wokeness. Let's call it token wokeness. How about that?
But that's
Token
the problem.
wokeness.
Token wokeness has taken over. This is my Cutty Corner shout out goes out to token wokeness, and some of it that even Jared agrees with the token wokeness too. Because he be out there, Jared got his pussy hat too.
Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp, you're the biggest and strongest of everybody on the list, so I'm going to have to sentence you for 10,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man and saying that no black woman can make you happy. 10,000 lashes for Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp.
Pedro, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
Yeah, it's my Cutty Corner shout goes to the pregame shows with these dry ass athletes. Stop, man. Just stop interviewing these dudes, man. I heard Trevor Lawrence, he did an interview with Trevor Lawrence. That nigga got 1 octave. Television. He don't have no personality at all. I'm like, dude, are you reading off the teleprompter? They're asking you a question. Oh, I actually feed off the controversy. That's what gives me fuel. You never want to be too high or too low. Stop the interviews. Stop it. We need to do something else. You guys can't be in, like, especially NBC. Also, another Cutty Corner shout out goes out to Tony. That shit was dry Saturday night. Tony, you talking
about Tony Dungy?
His color commentating almost put me to sleep.
Dude, like I almost
love Tony Dungy.
I almost did a white woman, and I almost called in. I almost did a Gino Reyna mama, and I almost called in with some tweets I found that he said against homosexuals to try to get him kicked off that show.
Exactly. I remember those tweets.
Oh my! Can we kick him off at halftime? I found some tweets about him talking bad about homosexuals. Can I get him kicked off?
That's exactly what we needed.
I agree with Pedro. It was so like lullaby. Best game of the night and worst commentating of the night.
Man, he almost put me this like, I got to remember this is a 1-point game.
Yeah, even Al Michaels was very lackluster in calling.
Yeah, you know what? He was kind of like out of it. Like he wasn't making this like. He's like, I don't know if that's well, maybe it is inbounds.
This is how you could tell that they stretched themselves too thin with the number of games this weekend, because they got 2 old niggas and they couldn't get a young dude to interject some kind of energy. They like, man, we passed our bedtime, bro.
No, I like Al Michaels. Al Michaels got beat up by Thursday Night Football. He said it was just bad. He doesn't think there should be games on Thursday night, and that he switched to the Amazon Thursday night. Right. He's like, I'm sticking with it. I'm getting paid. But you could tell he doesn't like it because the games are bad. He doesn't think they should be games on Thursday night. Teams aren't ready and aren't healthy enough.
And he can only watch so many hits before his body starts breaking down. Brandon, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
Oh yeah, man. I got 3 really quick ones. Number 1, I saw an out route. No, it was actually like a flare route in the Buffalo Bills Miami game today. And I saw this running back get lit up on the field. I thought he was hurt. And I'm thinking, is this dude dead? And you know what? Football players went football. And they start dancing. Why you see me like that? I was like, dude, somebody on your team almost died 2 weeks ago from a hit. And you out here dancing because you almost broke somebody's neck.
CTR. CTR.
So, number 1, my first Cutty Corner shout out goes out to football for being football, just general.
They don't remember him and just almost dying.
Dude, it's like, it was so weird to me. I was like, dude, somebody on your team. Second one goes out to black men in barbershops hitting on women who show up there with their teenage sons. I'm just saying, man. Like, if you're gonna holler, it's fine, whatever. But like, you have a fairly captive audience when her son's trying to get her his haircut and don't want to miss a spot in line. So like, be respectful. I'm just gonna say that to anybody listening. If you're in a barbershop, you see some woman there sitting there with her son looking at her phone. She's looking at her phone while she's there with her kids. Like, just go easy. Like, you don't have to go full throttle. You don't have to go like, hey, you gonna talk to me today. Like, no, this is not your chance. This is not the opportunity that you need to take. Talk to somebody right now, man. It was wild because, like, if you're ever in a barbershop, like if a woman shows up, Especially if there's not like a hair salon or something like that. All the attention goes to her. Like it's nuts. It's like
I remember.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Feels like somebody fucked up Brandon's hairline this weekend.
Exactly.
That could happen. Brandon ain't lying. I mean, they
Feel like-
stopped paying attention.
Brandon's lineup was compromised because some mother came into the barbershop. That's
Exactly. It got uncomfortable because somebody would be there trying to talk to her. They get their haircut, leave. Somebody else would come in. Barbers trying to give the kids, life advice. And I was like, dude, I don't know.
The barber trying to act like stepdaddy ahead of time. Like, this will help me out.
Exactly.
Application
This probably should have been on Mr. Verdar's Neighborhood. But at some point, she's got tired of it, right? She's like, man, I don't even date dudes my own age. See here, I got my teenage son here. I ain't with no games. All these black dudes, all these young dudes be playing games with me. That's why I got me a sugar daddy. And so I wish she was just been quiet because I could not stop laughing when she talked about this kind of stuff he bought her. I'm not gonna keep this too long because I'm gonna go to bed. But apparently on Christmas he got her a velour jumpsuit, and I was like, "That is some old shit."
Pedro, you need to go to North Carolina and get you a woman. It don't take a lot of money, man. It don't take a lot of money.
Brandon, we're coming to visit you next year.
I'm coming. First, I'm going to Sloss and Swap Meet with the empty suitcase. Then I'm loading up. Then I'm coming to visit you, Brandon.
Adarius, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
Yeah, I got a long one, so I don't know. Niggas might have to be prepared because there's a lot of Cutty Corner shoutouts are all going on at once. But listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell a quick story, and then it's gonna end with my Cutty Corner shoutout. It all makes sense in the end. I was down in LA smoking outside of a building in a business park. And I'm sitting there smoking my weed, doing my thing. And the business park, nobody was there. It was all closed down. All the buildings was closed except for the ones across the street that was occupied by basically Xfinity. But all the cable trucks were in there parked for the night. And I'm, smoking on the other side of the building. I'm on the steps of this building and all of a sudden the door pops open. And a black dude who looked like he could be Aaron's daddy comes out, and he has no shirt on. And he says, "Hey, man, hey." And I have my headphones on, I'll turn, and he said, "Hey, man, you don't want to be here." I'm looking at him like, what? Like, hold on. Like, who you talking to? Oh, homeless dude? I was ready to fight him. And then he comes out. He opens the door fully. When he opens the door fully, he comes out quick, like he wants to fight me. And I'm like, oh, damn. Oh, shit, it's about to go down. I'd step up. He stepped up. This time, he was a little bit more friendly, but then he was also trying to give me some game. Like, hey, man, this ain't where you want to be, man. And I looked into his eyes. He looked real serious. Maybe not like he was going to hurt me, but I was going to be hurt in several minutes if I did not leave immediately. I said, okay, I hear you. You ain't got to tell me, but no more times. I get it now because there's the seriousness in his face. He then says, all right, man, happy holidays. Then he opens the door. And as he props open the door, you see about 10, between 7 to 10, half-naked, well-looking young ladies. They didn't look like they were being kidnapped. I don't know if this was some type of sex trafficking situation. So I called my resident LA advisor, Mr. Grayson. I said, Mr. Grayson, this is what I just experienced. Do you know what's possibly going on? He said, actually, I'm from that area, and my sister has been investigating something quite similar. And these people are taking over these little businesses, and they are turning them into OnlyFans hubs, where they got little OnlyFans rooms, and they're doing webcam stuff legally. I don't know if it's illegal or legally, but it seems like there's some stuff going on if you're doing it in places that's not zoned for it. You niggas ain't got no permits. And if the nigga who run it ain't got no shirt on, I personally think something's going on. That's me personally. So my Cutty Corner shout out go to LAPD, man. How the fuck are you gonna kill a motherfucking teacher, but you can't stop these motherfucking sex rings and these little OnlyFans hubs popping up all over the city? I mean, we need our teachers in society. We need our motherfucking black men who are doing positive shit in society. Y'all too busy killing them if y'all don't want to get investigate all these little P-hub, little pop-up stores. Y'all piece of shit, LAPD. Y'all some pieces of shit. So my Cutty Corner shout out goes to them. LAPD, again, my name is Rayon Lee. I'm fine, bitch.
My Cutty Corner shout out goes out to, well, number one, Dr. Martin Luther the King. Love him, love me some him. And apparently, Boston wanted to commemorate Dr. Martin Luther the King and all his work by creating a bronze sculpture that showed the loving embrace of what he brought to our country. Unfortunately, the image looks like someone trying not to succumb to the weight of King Kong's dick landing on them. Depending on the angle you look at it, it looks like two characters from a Tim Burton claymation movie, or somebody trying not to succumb to the weight of King Kong's dick falling on them. Once again, let's just say thank you, Boston, for fucking up another black holiday. And we remember they saluted Red Auerbach for coaching the first Negro to play in the NBA or win titles with a Negro for Black History Month.
Black History Month salute.
They gave him a Black History Month award during Black History Month. They honored him. And then they came out with this beautiful sculpture, which does, from certain angles, also look kind of like a heart. But it also looks like someone trying not to succumb to the weight of King Kong's dick falling on them.
It also looked like hands growing out of an ass.
Like something you would do to Brittany Griner.
I honestly don't know what I'm looking.
Why is there no head?
I'm
Boston,
confused.
I understand. Y'all didn't win the NBA Finals last year, so the extra revenue that would have come in to fund, being able to afford to put a head or a face on the shoulders or on the stump of this King Kong's dick, would have maybe you couldn't afford it. But I need y'all do better, please. This is egregious.
Is that a dick? What am I watching? Is that another
like a scene out of one of the warehouses next to where Darius smoking out at?
This is what a Darius could have been a part of had he said, "Hey man, I'm here to pay for the action."
Is that another dick?
So many dicks.
My other Cutty Corner shout out goes out to something I've never seen before or heard of. It goes out to
a black girl.
No. My other Cutty Corner shout out goes out to people picking on people with disabilities. I witnessed some heinous picking on somebody with a disability this week. And that was when some gamers got a Darius banned off Call of Duty. Darius is not good at Call of Duty Warzone. We're just gonna be real with it. Darius, I played with Darius and Pedro last night for like 4 hours, and it was really hard. We got close though. We made some progress, but for somebody to report a Darius and get him banned off Warzone for 12, 24 hours, I don't know how long it was, Darius, because he is so bad, not because he said anything. Not because he was offensive, not because he told him to eat a dick or said abusive things like he says to me all the time. No, he didn't say anything. He was muted. He was just trying to play the game in a good old wholesome manner. And them watching him and seeing him move and play with them really upset them because they knew he didn't have the skills they had. And because of that deficit, they picked on him, they bullied him, they reported him and got him banned for 12 hours from Call of Duty because he was that bad. And that's just that's unfortunate. At this day and age, I would think that we were past making fun of people with disabilities, whether it's in the gaming world or in the real world, okay? And Darius, I'm going to stand in solidarity with you. I'm not going to be a fake woke person like Velma and I'm gonna. Well, actually, I'm not weak like you, so I can't stand in solidarity in that way. But I will stand and be an ally, and I will say that was wrong of them. And whoever did that, we should find out who that was, Darius, and I will report them for you to show that I'm an ally for your inability to be good at Call of Duty.
You know, you look like the Brazilian radio, right?
Well, that is our show, my friends.
I have the nerve to call me disabled. All right, I'll take it.
I've never heard of somebody getting banned because their teammates reported them for being weak. If I had known that's all I had to do, your ass would have been banned hella times.
This is friendship, y'all. This is what a good friendship world. You know,
that's all we had to do.
I'm not that bad. I don't know how I got dragged. I'm not that bad.
This your friendship with Jared right here.
This is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's
Jared still standing in the back just yelling instructions to everybody.
I mean, Jared, I must be honestly that bad if Jared compared me to someone who has brain elements, like really can't function cognitively. That's where you coming at me from?
What it confirmed it was yesterday when Darius was playing with Paul and Patty, and he was listening to the beautiful white man's instructions, and they were working. They did all right. But then I'm going to just say that I think Paul and Patty were hoping Darius had gone off keys because they were like, Jerry, you still there? All right, I think Darius not playing no more. Let's kick him real quick. And then Darius came back from me, be like, man, I was playing the whole time. I was like, yeah, he was playing. He does lay there in the bushes and not do anything. He does like the Mia Khalifa thing sometimes. So you guys, that's him playing.
Come on, man. Come on. He just out here. He over, man. This my crew, Jared, is different.
No, I said I was playing. I died, and I was watching y'all the whole time.
Oh, Lord, help me.
This mushroom, Jared, is different than that.
I'm sorry. It was just hilarious. But anyways, all right, Darius, no, you made progress. So I'll give you some credit. I seen you put in some work in the gulag. I give you credit for that. I seen Darius get a couple people in the gulag to win the gulag. So
everybody knows I'm as good in Call of Duty as you are a boyfriend.
Well, yeah, that's probably kind of true, actually. It's like my skill is the same as your boyfriend's skill, non-existent.
If I'm Call of Duty retarded, you emotionally retarded.
Yeah, right. You was farting in bathtubs and laughing your ass off. Yeah. But Simple Jack thought he was smart, or rather didn't think he was retarded, so he can't afford to play retarded, being a smart actor. Playing a guy who ain't smart but thinks he is, that's tricky. Tricky. It's like working with mercury. It's high science, man. It's art form.
You basically call it Jared JJ Icefish.